Greetings of peace to all my friends across the globe from Sri Lanka. As you might be knowing that despite the various statements, reports from experts and virologists that there is no harm in burying those people who die out of COVID-19, the authorities in Sri Lanka still choose to forcibly cremate those people who succumb to COVID-19. This is really saddening, and I make this video to condemn this activity of going with cremation only policy to those who die out of COVID-19, because it is not accepted in international standards. Number two, it is not accepted in our own legislation. And number three, it adversely affects the common objective of preserving peace, coexistence and harmony within this country. You know, in international standards, there is no nation, no country which states that you need to only cremate when there is no harm in burying, because they understand that burial rights are fundamental human rights, and those rights need to be vested to people, and people need to be given the chance to choose between cremation or burial. There is a clear understanding across the globe. Number two, it's not accepted in our own legislation, as the Constitution of Sri Lanka, which governs all of us, clearly states that every citizen in Sri Lanka need to be given the right to freely practice their faith. When there is a certain right which does not cause harm to public security or health, that right, according to the Sri Lankan Constitution, has to be vested to its people. And this has to be accepted by all of us, the majority and the minority, in a democratic country. And according to our own penal code, this is unacceptable as well. According to section 292 of the penal code of Sri Lanka, which clearly clarifies what is a crime and what is not a crime, it is stated that any activity offering indignity to a human corpse is a crime. And this is why I strongly believe that the government of Sri Lanka needs to reconsider and renounce their Gazette notification, which suggests that they would go with cremation only policy. Number three, it also adversely affects the common objective of preserving peace, harmony in Sri Lanka. As we all know, coming up with legislation like this, which has no basis, which is not acceptable, which is not justified, will only affect the emotions of parties who get affected by submerging this particular right. And when things like this happen, it disrupts the peace, harmony that we wish to have in Sri Lanka. Over the past years, we as community leaders have been working amongst communities to bridge the gap in between the minorities and the majority, to bring about coexistence, peace and harmony. But legislations like this coming about with no justification will only affect that objective, because people will not be ready to accept any common call for peace because their rights are submerged. This is why the government of Sri Lanka needs to reconsider this policy and perhaps give this right to people for them to choose what they want to really do when there is no harm to public security or public health. We wish that the Sri Lankan government take this message into serious consideration, share this message with your friends, family, so that it reaches the right people and they make the necessary changes within the system. Thank you very much. May God bless you all. We pray for a peaceful and a coexisting Sri Lanka in the future.